Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Ozzy's Drives. Today we're driving a Lamborghini Gallardo and let's get right into it, alright? Let's not waste any time. So the car has been built from 2003 up until 2008. This is the first Gallardo version, which means it's the first time that the Germans and the Italians worked together to build a car that is somehow easy, good to drive, and still perfected in the German engineering class. Okay, so the power output is, it's a V10 5-liter with 520 horsepower and 510 newton meters of torque, able to accelerate the car from 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds, and tops out at 315 kph. This is all done with this 6-gear E-gear single clutch transmission, so it's kind of like a manual but automated, so a sequential gearbox. Very, very bad in terms of reliability, because when you have to change the clutch, it's going to cost you a bunch of money. There is a way to drive them actually, and it is to accelerate a little and then lift your foot up before you put it in next gear, and it gives you a very emotional drive because it punches those gears in, bam, bam, bam. All right, so I'll close the window so you can hear me. What is also very interesting is this is my first time driving a Gallardo. I have sat as a passenger in it but never driven it. It's an all-wheel drive car and it feels very, very old. Let me tell you that. It was kind of the competition to the F430 and the F360 back then. This car is from 2008, so it's the last car available as a Gallardo, as the first generation Gallardo. The later one was an LP 560. So let's accelerate a little just to sort of find out what this is all about. Okay, so the car has been warmed up. Let's see. Oh! Hey! Whoa! You see that I'm from the new generation, man. I don't know about cars sounding like that. Let's let the clutch engage. Now full throttle. Holy shit! What the hell? What the? What the hell? I was kind of a little bit scared because, you know, the Gallardo is a car that all of us had as a poster, you know. All of us childs, when it first came out in 2003 and 50 Cent was driving it in the music videos, and Akon and all of those people. You know, I don't want to be disappointed by my hero cars, and the Lamborghini Gallardo is one of them. But now that I'm driving it, I'm not disappointed at all. It's actually so cool. It's really, really cool. But how it shifts in the gears, we have come a long way. Let me tell you that, man. The gear shifts are absolutely stupid. They are so dumb. And you want to hear the funniest thing? You know what the gauge is saying? How much fuel I'm using? I'm currently driving at 28 liters, man. 28 liters to 100 kilometers. Let's put it out of sport so it shifts a little bit smoother. But you can hear those shifts. This is really not a good gearbox, man. This is really a bad gearbox. I had an Aston Martin Vantage that had a similar kind of gearbox. And it was much better than this. I mean it, I really do. And the F360, the F1 transmission from that car is bad, but not as bad as the Gallardo. I'm really honest with you. I don't know what the Germans did here, but it's not as good. And also, by the way, check out the F360 review, and we also did a 16M review. So the Ferrari 430, but the 16M Scuderia also have a full review on that car, and those cars shift completely different, although this has more power. Well, a little bit more. So let's accelerate from 0 one more time. Now I'm a little bit more used to it. Okay, so let me take you through the acceleration. So I don't want to break the car, it's for sale, so we're just rolling off and then pounding it. All right, rolling off. Good, the clutch has been engaged, 20 kph, let's go! Did you see my body moving on those upshifts? What's going on? I totally forgot about all of this. Let's accelerate one more time, but now I'll shift really, really late, 8,000 RPMs, okay? So V10, baby. Holy cow! This is one of the funniest shit I've ever done, man. It's really that funny. Whoa! Very interesting power output, let me tell you that. So when you accelerate, there comes a little bit of power up until 4,000, then comes sort of a second power spectrum where it pushes a little bit more up until 6,000, and from 6,000 it really punches in pretty hard. It's incredible. It's so funny. The sound is just ridiculous. I'm not really sure if I can call the car fast. I wouldn't call it well, acceleration wise it's pretty fast. Shit. And it goes good around corners. We have Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which are very good. And it doesn't even feel that hard on the road. And the all-wheel drive system pushes more of the power to the rear wheel, so that is great. And it really does turn in pretty nice. The gear ratios are a little too high, that is the only thing, but the suspension works very fine. And the car feels very planted, although this is the Spider, so the structure, the stability of a Spider, of a Cabrio Roadster is not that good as in a coupe. This feels very good. It's almost like it's lifting its nose up after 7,000 RPMs. Woohoo! Holy shit! Let's talk about reliability. All right, let's talk about what we all want to know. Can you buy this car second-hand used? Let me tell you this. The car is up for sale at Remu Auto. I'm not sure how much it is, like 70K. And it has 89,000 kilometers. So I know a bunch of guys that have those cars in their rentals or had them in the rentals, and the car is pretty solid, but there is this problem with the gearbox. The E-gear is really not good and it's going to break. Let's face it. So if you really love the car, you can buy it. But the reason why those cars are not on the road anymore is because they are so expensive to keep on the road. Okay, this is such an old technology, and especially when you live in Europe and all of those countries, you can't just engine swap, you know, or transmission swap the cars. They have to be checked and all of that. So I wouldn't, sadly, I must admit, I wouldn't tell you you can buy this car. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you maybe have thought about buying one of these, but you really cannot. It's going to bankrupt you, so let's face it. Very sad, because I'm one of those guys that always thought, yeah, buying an F360, buying an F430, etc. That would be, you know, I can buy a supercar for a bargain. But bro, let's just face it, let's be completely honest to each other. Those cars are going to bankrupt us, man. They really are. And if I could choose between this and an F360 or an F430, I would take the F430, to be honest. But that's just me. But still, this is really, the engine is brutal, man. Woohoo! And it's so loud. Holy crap. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Can we oversteer it a little bit? Let's see. Just a little drift. Whoa! That worked fine. this was one of the more funnier drives this year, and there's not much to say about the car, man. To be honest, it was and it is a very entertaining machine. I really like it. It is brilliant to experience, really, and I wish to drive it one more time, to be honest. It's really such a cool experience, but it's a money pit. Let's face it, it really is a money pit. You can't really buy those cars anymore, especially when you have money. Bro, buy it. Why not buy it? If you want something nostalgic, just do it if you have the money. But if you want to save a little bit and so on, you can't buy it, man. But this is really exclusive to people that have money, let's face it. But when you have money and you want something nostalgic, bro, this is so funny. This is really so funny. Just do it. Just do it. Try it. It's one of the funniest shit I've ever done. It's so funny to drive, man. And that's all I can say. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.